turned into something really fierce. I'm not giving myself credit or non-credit. But first of all, this could have turned out really bad for her, or it could have turned out really bad for me. And here's why. People are losing their tempers. We already know this, and they're being pushed to lose their tempers.
Well, I have something to say about that. This is all new to you, right? This is all new to you people, everybody, right? Being pushed to lose your temper. Oh, how's it been for the past, what, year or two you've been experiencing this, right? Right? Some of us been dealing with it for decades, right in front of everybody. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody said, hey, something's not right here. Nothing like that. They're just like, yeah, oh yeah, that's karma. Or God must hate that person like Job, right? Oh, this, that, or the other. Whatever they, you can think of a million different things people might say or think. But what they never seem to say or think is, wow, that's not right. I'm going to say something. No, they don't do none of that. So now, huh, wait, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Once again, what they have done to me, they are doing to you. Wow, I must be a schizophrenic to be imagining all this shit all the time. It's like, golly, wow, I'm really crazy, aren't I? Wow, I must be hallucinating all the time. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on with the video. Don't mind me, I am a crazy person.
My theory is I don't want to go out into public by myself because I don't want to be placed in these scenarios, frankly.
Okay, I have a lot to say about that. They need to isolate people like me. I don't know about you. I can't speak for you or anybody else, but they need to isolate people like me. See, she doesn't like to go out by herself. Yeah, nobody really should. Not because they're scared, but because you need a fucking witness in this world all the time because of these scummy ass people. But as I've said before, I can't have a relationship, not with a decent person, even a halfway decent person. I've got to be with a complete sellout that's secretly addicted to drugs, secretly fucking prostitutes themselves, or just a sellout, period. A piece of shit that doesn't care about other people. Not enough to not be bribed, blackmailed, threatened, seduced into doing unthinkable things to another human being that doesn't deserve it. That's what they need me to involve myself with. As long as I involve myself with something like that, as I've been saying for decades, also, they don't have a problem with it. But if it's even a halfway decent person, oh, they have a fucking problem with it. And once again, nobody has a problem with that. Moving on.
I try to, you know what I'm saying? And if I have to go into somewhere, this is why I like having my husband with me, because I will bet you every little dime that I own, had my husband been standing there with me, she wouldn't have done that.
But you see, yeah. But you see how they fuck with me. Yeah, it's in the stores. Like she's saying, she's in a store. See, when they're behind that counter, okay, anybody doesn't understand how this works. When you're in a store, if you steal, you go to jail. When they're behind that counter, if they steal from you, you got to take them to court. All right? Now, can anybody explain how that makes sense?
A lot of people are. But it got me thinking about how...
But where are all these people that have such a problem with me in public? Why are they all in the stores behind counters, behind their cash register? Which, by the way, brings up another point. You have to have some level of trust, or your criminal record has to meet certain criteria, to my understanding, to work a cash register, right? And this is the best they got everywhere we go, everywhere I go. This is what they have. This is as good as it gets. These are the people without criminal records? Complete fucking scumbags? Okay, moving on.
Short fused people are. I mean, she was being ridiculous, okay? There are other words I could use, but I'm not going to. I'm classier than that.
Extra cunty.
Her showing out could have triggered me, and she has no idea what I'm capable of. She has no idea how I actually would have responded to her. I was actually pretty friendly when she, and I didn't say anything to her until she peeled her eyes back over at me, and I was like, you do understand that, I was like trying to like reasonably, firmly, but nicely explain to her, baby doll, I ain't trying to come up in here and weasel up on you or your little squirrel man here. I'm just looking for this, just like you. My point is, though, she has no guarantees on how I'm going to respond, just like I have no guarantees that she would have or could have said what she said to begin.
And so many times in situations like this, it's funny. I mean, honestly, when it's always the woman, too. When it's a man and a woman, almost always it's the fucking bitch that gets herself convinced that it's a good idea. I'm with my man. I can talk to other men however I feel like it in public. And then, statistically, honestly, 9 times out of 10, they realize they picked the wrong one fucking with me. We might be in a store, but you're not protected by the corporate fucking ladder. You don't work here. You're in the same boat as I am, bitch. And they find out they picked the wrong one. And not only do I cuss them the fuck out, I look at their man and I say, and would you like to take charge of this situation, motherfucker? No, he doesn't. So now, not only do you look like a stupid ass bitch, your man looks like a stupid ass bitch, and you look like a cunt that chose a bitch ass, pussy ass bitch to be your man. And you wish you would have kept your mouth shut 9 times out of 10.
And we don't know how each other's going to react. So here's 3 lessons. Number 1, and I thought about this, I thought I should have witnessed to her. But here's the thing, I don't know how she would have responded to that, right? And number 2, Walmart is a losing battle for you to go to. I'm really going to encourage people to try to not go to Walmart. I don't have, I'm not trying to be like one of these cancel culture Walmart, but let's be honest here, nothing good ever goes down at the Walmart. This is why I don't really go anymore, because their prices, frankly, are not any better than most places anymore, and their inventory half the time is horrible. So not
only that, you can't check online to see if something's in stock, because if it says it is, it's probably not. So there's no point, and you can't call. Like when I was very, very savvy, and I took the bus, I went to work, I saved my money, I went shopping like once a week for things I wanted, and that was it. And I saved a lot of money. But during that time, I would call every place that I wanted to shop at and see if they had what I wanted, made sure it was there, how much it cost. You can't fucking do that anymore. Like, can you imagine? Man, it's hard enough having your own vehicle, but to be riding a bus around, fucking dealing with these fucking people, yeah, I would probably be going to jail. Honestly, I about go to jail now, fucking with these people. But to ride a bus all around town to go buy something and then deal with these fucking assholes, like, dude, are you fucking not? No, like you're really like Like, who? Like, if I come out of them stores, like, man, I got an hour bus ride ahead of me. You know what I mean? Like, I might as well just sit around and wait for your punk ass to get off work. You know? We got nothing better to do but get on a goddamn bus and ride around town for an hour trying to get 2 miles. You know? And you want to fucking give me a hard time, man? I don't know. I'm surprised, man. We don't have people getting murdered left and right in this fucking country, like everywhere. I mean, it's coming, I'm sure. You better believe it, especially, man, just never mind. I'm not going to get into it. You better just count on it because it's coming.
Confirmation on that today again. And furthermore, it's like the freaks come out at night are always at the Walmart. When James and I went together, I just did a video talking about some of the items I picked up. We actually did go into the Walmart. This is why I went back, because I was like, well, I'll see if they've got more of this and this, right? Well, they don't. They were sold out. They didn't have what I needed anyway, so all of that for nothing. But,
right? Like I said, imagine taking a bus to deal with that bullshit.
When we were leaving Walmart the other day, they were taking down a lady for she was theft. She was stealing stuff. Now, all these things can happen anywhere. I'm not trying to just absolutely beat up on Walmart. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about, this is why I'm trying to get what I can get, where I can get it, as far as our personal items and needs, because I don't see society getting any better right now. It's going to take an act of Jesus to...
Right now, see, the thing what you people need to realize is it wasn't good before. It was good for you. It was good for you. That's everyone's problem. They fail to be able to put themselves in other people's shoes, and that's been the problem. Like everybody can agree. They're trying to divide us. No, they've had us divided the whole time. You just didn't realize it because you didn't give a shit that we were divided because it didn't affect you. And you never, strangely enough, especially for Christians, these so-called Christians, they never thought these days would come, even though that's everything that they say they believe, that these days would come. Well, it doesn't look like you prepared very well for it. I mean, um, clearly, I mean, anyway, yeah.
turn anything around. And the worse that the economy gets, people losing their jobs, people's rent are going up, confusion.
And yes, people are going to come for your stuff. Now, there has been a long, drawn out process of creating crime and crime spreading like a virus, and everyone has watched it take place as if there was never anything that could be done about it or that it had no cause. The reason for it, there's no reason for it. Just naturally, just crime just goes rampant naturally for no reason. That's not the case. Crime was created, and people, like I said, not putting themselves in other people's shoes and being considerate of other people and allowing the system to divide them from other people and allowing the system to keep you just barely getting by to where you don't have much of a choice to help other people because you can't afford to help yourself. That's all systematic. And you know it. See, the thing is that everybody knows what has taken place. Everybody knew what was going on the whole time. They just chose to ignore it. And then now everybody wants to act like, well, like as if they didn't know. You did know. You knew. You've seen it all. If you didn't see it happening as it was happening, well, you still don't have any room to talk. Because if you were in the right state of mind, if you had the right character, especially so-called Christians, then you would have known. I mean, that's why I say, like, I put myself somewhat in the life that I grew up in. I mean, it wasn't everybody else's fault necessarily. I mean, I was a child, and they just let a child decide what he wanted. Where have we heard this before? Yeah, they let a child decide what he wanted to do with his life. And this child said, wow, I've been in a cage for so long, I want to run the fucking streets like a fucking maniac, career criminal. And they said, great, have fun. Okay, so and that's what it and what's happening now? Huh. Now they're trying to make sure your kids can do whatever they want, including getting sex changes, and if you have a problem with it, they will hide them out. And you won't be able to find them. Wow, is that man, I must be crazy because it just seems like everything that I went through, they're putting on you. Huh. And your kid and your children. It's really crazy. Because all I can think about is how you think that you thought all that was funny. You loved every minute of it. But I don't think you're loving it now. Oh, we got left and right. Yeah, left is bad, right is good. No, no, no. No, see, because left nor right gave a shit. What don't you understand about that? What exactly don't you understand? That I'm sorry. Where are the good people? You seem to think there are some, or a whole bunch of them. Apparently, you seem to think there's just an abundance of wonderful people in this world. I think you're mentally ill. Anyway, moving on.
with know whether with people understanding whether they're an apple or a peach or a banana.
You don't know what a good person is. Apparently, clearly.
We are just in this cesspool of it's not even a storm, it's a swirling cesspool.
It's a virus.
And that is a danger to you, and that's a danger to me.
Uh-huh.
And I know a lot of you out there, I have been here for a long time, and you are
Okay, I'm seeing. See now, there is going to be a transition. I mean, it's happening now. It's been happening, but it's really going to snowball and get serious to where a lot of so-called good people, out of fear, are going to demonize anybody and everybody who they see as a threat. Which, as all of this progresses, that's going to be pretty much everybody. Once again, all this could have been prevented. See, a wise person, especially someone who really seeks to speak the truth and do good things and to teach and see other people do good things, they can't possibly live that life of what I just said in pursuit of these things without having an understanding of how things work, what situation we're in, what's going to happen, and the whole works. See, a true person of understanding and all this, that, and the other, uh, would know all this was going to happen already. And like I was saying, I chose to run the streets. I put myself in those situations and it, even as I wouldn't change it for anything. It made me who I am. It made me nothing like you. You know what I mean? Like I seem to know everything. I mean, not everything, but I sure seem to have a lot of the answers. And it's like clockwork. Now, I know if I was like you, I would not have these answers. And I wouldn't change that for anything, but what good does it do? Anyway, um, boy, I just feel like we need new vocabulary because fuck you just doesn't do it.
good people. So I just want to really put a
Good people, huh?
spotlight on things
Good
are
people.
not getting better, and things are actually.
And you see, I've been saying for 5 or 10 years at least that I have a different definition of what it is to be a good person. And just because you don't hurt people, you don't sin, or you don't commit crimes, you don't steal, and all that, does not make you a good person. It just doesn't make you a good person. See, it takes way more than that, in my opinion. To be a good person, huh? In this world, in this situation, to be a good person, you can't just get away with floating through life. If you never came out of the house and you sent people to do all your shopping and you never left the house, you never had interaction with other people, and then you say, well, I'm a great person. How? How can you be a great person? If you sit in the corner your whole life and don't even get out of the corner, and you say, well, I'm a very great person. I mean, I I don't do anything wrong. Well, you don't really do anything. How can you do anything wrong when you don't do anything? Period. That's the that's the point. It's like you're not really. It's not saying much. It's like saying I'm really great at my job, but your job is to sit in a chair for 8 hours a day and keep a lookout for people who never come. You're not great at your job. Your job is barely a job. You're not great. You should not be getting an employee of the month award. You understand what I'm saying? You don't get fucking cookies and stickers when you ain't really doing anything special. Your whole premise on I'm a good person is all based on what you're not doing. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing. Well, what are you doing? That's what makes you a good person. What are you doing? It's not what you're not doing that makes you a good person. It's what you are doing. Okay, I'm done. This is a long video.
My personal opinion, are becoming riskier and more dangerous. This is why I tell you to train. This is why I tell you about self-defense.